now. Yeah.
We're starting the class.
Yes, the class is started.
So many people.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, ma'am.
Deepa ma'am, good afternoon. Deepa ma'am, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Deepshika.
Deepa ma'am,
Rehan.
Deepa ma'am, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes, Aditya, I heard you. Good afternoon.
इनसे बात कर रहा हूँ 1 मिनट.
Arya, good afternoon.
Good
Afternoon, everyone.
Dakshita, please turn on your camera. Kriti, good afternoon. Okay. And who do we have here?
Hi, Ashia.
Hi.
Can we all say hello to our Rohit sir today, who's going to teach us mobile photography? Can we all say hello? Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, how are you?
Good afternoon, Bhavna ma'am.
Aditya,
Okay,
listen
I have
now.
Inaya with me. She's my daughter. She's also one of the students of Deepa ma'am. And she will be helping me with the class. So she will demonstrate some of the tricks that I'm. Are you all excited for photography?
Yes.
Are you exciting?
Yeah.
Do you all have a mobile phone with you?
Yes.
Yes.
Arya?
Yes.
Okay, let's wait for one more minute so that everyone can come and join us. Bhavna ma'am, is there any, how many are yet to come?
Almost 9.
Okay. Show your mobile phones, everyone. Can we all show our
Show your mobile phone.
Show.
Oh, do you all have it? Kriti, do you have it with you? Urvi, you need to adjust the camera. I can't see your face. Vihan, where's your camera? Where's your phone? All right. Okay. And do you all have some small props, some small toys? Like Arshia has a Barbie and an apple.
See, show your toys.
Small pictures of
Show your toys.
like Naya. I love it.
Very small.
Okay.
This dog.
Okay. Oh wow. I like those toys.
So good morning,
Krishna
Yes.
also. Car.
Lovely, lovely. I like that. I like
Have
Animals, show animals.
telephone.
Show animals.
Yes. And I love
Okay, okay.
Good morning.
Oh, let's get started.
Good afternoon, darling.
ये इस मोबाइल से दादी का अब इससे कर लो. इस
Good
मैं इस
afternoon.
मोबाइल से ना मैं आपके मोबाइल से दादी का फोन.
Aditya, you
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Aditya, you
Good afternoon, Veronica.
Did I miss something?
know nothing. Just getting started.
Say good afternoon, Arya.
Good afternoon.
Please come back. We're getting started now. I'm pinning you. Oh, now.
Good afternoon. Teacher. Good afternoon.
Okay. So yes, let's get
Hello,
started.
Uncle.
You want me to make the other table?
Hello, Uncle.
Can talk right now.
Shall we start, Deepa?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Everyone, please put yourself on mute. Everyone should be on mute right now. And we would let Sir speak. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
So-
Bhavna ma'am, please make sure that everyone is on mute.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So very good afternoon to all of you.
See if you can see me on the screen now.
Yes, I can see you. Come back here. Sit down. Now, please stay quiet. I need to teach a few things. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very excited to see you all, and I'm going to share some very easy tricks that you can follow, and you can take some good pictures with every camera phone. You don't need a very fancy or a very expensive phone. The tricks that I'm going to teach you do not depend on which camera you use. So we'll talk about a few things before we start clicking pictures. So I'm going to show you some pictures that I have brought for you, which make you understand these concepts. So we'll talk about them and then we'll do a demonstration so that you know what we are talking about. And we'll also keep clicking pictures along the presentation. So you just feel free to enjoy this session. If you have any questions, you can raise your hands and maybe ask your questions, or maybe after we discuss one topic, then we discuss the questions. So let's start and get right into the small deck that I have created for you. So I'm sharing my screen here. Share screen. Just to share.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. Okay. So I'll just get to the first. So we love clicking. That is why we take pictures, and there is no other reason. We just want to enjoy it. So that is the objective of today's presentation. So we are all gonna enjoy it. So first thing I am going to show you about is the very basic thing about photography. And photography has a lot to do with lights and shadows. So uh, whenever we click a picture, there is always a source from where the light is coming. That source can be the tube light in the room. If you are clicking picture outside, it can be the sunlight. Or when you are clicking picture maybe in a mall, there are multiple lights falling from multiple sources. So wherever the lights come from, they fall on an object and it looks beautiful. That can be a toy, that can be a person. And if you want to click beautiful pictures, there should be good light. So this is a very simple thing to understand, but I'm going to still demonstrate it to you with the help of a lamp. So I'll switch on to the other screen. Bhavna ma'am, can you please switch to the other screen?
I'll make. Do you
The
want me
table,
to
the
spotlight
one
that?
where the table is.
I
Yeah.
have made that spotlight, but you need to stop sharing then. Otherwise,
Okay, I'll stop sharing the screen.
yes.
Yeah, so we are on the table. So this is my work desk where I work, and I have Inaya here with me who will help me. Inaya, please come here. Pick up that pink shark. Yeah, come here, please. This side. Stop looking at that camera. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Pick up that pink shark. Okay. So see, we have a pink color shark here and we have a light source, and I'm going to show you the light source here quickly. I'll adjust my camera. So I have a small lamp over here and I have a shark. This is a small toy, a fish toy. Notice when I move my light, how it looks on the camera changes drastically. So if I put it behind it, there's a lot of shadow on the nose of the shark. But if I put it like this, the whole look of the shark changes. So the subject, which is the shark, is the same, but when we change the light, it looks very different. So you can experiment this with your toys, but if you can't move the light source, you can always move the toy. So if the light is falling from a tube light, which is in that direction, you can move the subject like this to get different shadows. Do you notice how it looks different when I turn it this way, and how it looks different? The face of the shark changes. So if I move it this way, which is not in the direction of the light, it looks very different.
Rohit,
But
sir, could you
if
please?
you can't move the light, you can move the object. Say you are clicking a teddy bear, which is in your hand, and the light is coming from the tube light. You move it facing the tube light. So I have a tube light in the room, so I make it face the tube light. So this way, it looks very well lit and bright. I can take a beautiful picture of it this way. Is everybody able to follow? Raise your hands. Do you understand?
Rohit sir, could you also have something else, because this pink is very dark.
Okay.
Anything else? An apple would be, yeah.
I have an apple right here.
Yes.
So right here I have an apple. I'm making it face towards the light now. Do you see how bright and beautiful it looks?
Yes.
But if I move against the light and in a corner where there is not much light, it does not look so beautiful
Right.
here.
Yes.
But if I bring it in light, it suddenly starts looking better. Now, if I take a picture of this, it will be better. So not all of you will have a lamp which you can move or a flashlight, but you can always move your object towards the source of the light, which can be the light coming from the window or light coming from the tube light natural source. So before you click any picture, you should see where the light is coming from. That may be coming from a window, that may be coming from a tube light or a lamp or whatever source. Face your subject. Subject is something that we are clicking. So in this case, it's an apple. So make your subject face the light so that it is well lit. And then we click a picture of it. And do you see the shadow here? If the light is coming from here, the shadow will fall on opposite direction. So you can very clearly see the shadow of the apple, which is here. Inaya, please show us the shadow.
Here is the shadow.
What happens when we move the source of light?
The shadow changes.
The shadow changes direction as well. Look, if I move this light from here to here, the shadow changes direction. Right?
Yes. Yes. That's
So
very good.
it is very simple. When we move the light from left to right, the shadow changes from right to left. So we have to be careful of how much shadow and light is there in our picture, and we can click pictures beautifully if we have enough light or good light in our frame. I hope this part is clear.
Yes.
If it's clear, raise your hands. Show me a thumbs up.
And if you understood the shadow.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Everyone, you understand? Yes. Okay.
Okay, now I move to the next part where we are still not clicking pictures yet because I want to show you a few things before we start clicking. Deepa ma'am, is there a question?
Is there a question? Does anyone have a question so far? Anyone? Who has a question?
Dhriti is asking something.
Okay, Dhriti. Yes, please. You didn't understand the shadow part?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What you didn't understand?
I don't understand everything.
You didn't understand everything. Okay.
It's all right, beta. It's all right. You can experiment with light and shadow later with your parents, and it's a very common concept to have shadows. So your parents will help you understand the shadows.
Is there anything, Rohit, sir? I mean, is there any other way? Do we have a picture wherein we can show them about the shadow?
Yeah, this lamp that you see.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the light is coming from the lamp falling on this ball. The part of the ball, this part which is facing the lamp, has light on it, and the other part is slightly dark and is making a shadow on this table where the ball is lying. So if the light falls from this direction, the shadow will fall in the direction of light only, but on the other side of the object. Do you want me to show you again with the help of an apple?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, let me quickly show you again. I'll stop sharing my screen. Can everyone see the apple?
I'll put that on spot.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll try to move my camera a bit far so that you can see it clearly. So And I'll turn off the room light so that you can see it properly.
Wow, that looks cool.
So here is the apple, here is the lamp, the light is coming from here, and this black part you see on the table, this is the shadow. Are you able to see the shadow? This is the shadow. This thing right here is the shadow. If I move the lamp now, the shadow also moves. Do you see the shadow moving? When the light moves, the shadow also moves. Can you see that? Can you see the shadow moving?
Riti, do you see the shadow moving now?
Yes.
Urvi, do you see the shadow moving?
Yes.
Okay, okay. See,
Okay.
Mom, जा रहे हो अभी?
so you all can experiment with it. You all can experiment with the shadow, with the lamp at home, okay?
Let the lamp be on. It's all right. Sit down, please. Okay, let's move to the next slide now. So I'll share the screen again. Okay. So here I'm going to tell you a very basic thing about taking pictures. In any picture, there are two areas. One area is in focus and other area is blur. Something that you can see very clearly and sharply is in focus, and something which you cannot see very clearly and is slightly hazy is blur. So in this slide, if you look carefully, on the left side, this toy that you see is in focus because we can see the toy clearly, but there is grass behind it, which is slightly blur. If you are following me, give me a thumbs up. Are you following me? Very good. The picture on the right has a lady and a baby in her lap, and we can see their faces very clearly. They are very sharp. They are in focus, but there are two big yellow flowers right in the front, but they are blur. They are kind of hazy. So in the picture on the right, the focus is on the baby and the mother, but not on the flowers. So the flowers are blur and the faces are in focus. Are you following me? Give me a thumbs up. Very good. So when we click a picture with a phone, we can select what we want in focus and what we want blur. If we are clicking picture of a toy in front of a wall, we want the toy to be in focus because we are clicking the picture of a toy and not of the wall. But when we click a picture, there will be toy as well as the wall in the picture. So what we have to do is when we click the picture of a toy, we tap on the toy before clicking. I'll show you the same on my table, and I'll show you a demonstration so that you understand properly how to make the pictures that we are clicking focused. So if you are clicking the picture of your parents, then you have to tap on their face to make their picture in focus and the wall behind them in blur. So let me quickly move on to my table and show this first with a toy, and then with the help of my assistant Inaya, I'll show you how to do that on the faces. So I'll stop screen sharing and let's move to the table again. Bhavna ma'am, are we on the table? Okay, so Inaya, bring that that green toy, please. It's okay. It's okay. Bring that green toy.
Alright. Here you go.
Thank you. So we have this toy, and we are clicking a picture of this toy. and we want the picture to be in focus. So I'll put some light here with the lamp that I have. You can use your tube lights or any other light source. I'll open my camera just like this. And because I want this toy to be in focus, so before clicking the picture, I'll tap on this. Do you see a rectangle on my camera? This rectangle, it may not come the same way on your camera, but when you tap on this subject, it comes in focus, and then I click. Now, just observe, if I tap behind on the wall, what happens? Now I'll show you both the pictures one by one. This is the first picture. Are you able to see the picture? Give me a thumbs up. Very good. The image of this toy is in focus because it's very clear. But image of this car, which is in the background, it's not that clear. But in second picture, I clicked on the background. So you can see this car is very clearly visible, but the toy is not very clear. It is kind of hazy. So it is not in focus, it is blur. So when we are clicking picture of any object, which can be a toy or a fruit, we tap on that object and then click the picture. In that case, the focus shifts to that object and you click beautiful pictures. Now let me demonstrate the same to you by clicking the picture of my daughter Inaya. Inaya, please come closer to the camera. Yeah, stand here. Now just observe, I just tap on her face like this and click it. Did you see I just tapped here and then I clicked? So step 1, step 2. Is everyone following? Give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
It's very easy to do. Now notice if I click the same picture and if I don't tap on her face and please come a bit closer. Yeah. If I accidentally tap on that door handle behind, now the door handle will be in focus. Her face would be blurred. But in this picture, you can see her face is in focus and the door handle is not so much. Can you see it is very clear?
Yes.
It's very clear because when I clicked it, I tapped on her face. You can try the same by clicking the pictures of your parents or grandparents, and you can tap on their face before you press click. If you tap on their face will be in focus and the picture will come out very beautiful. Does everyone understand? Give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
Very good. So let's move to our next trick. Let me share my screen again. Is everyone able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
So next interesting topic I'm going to talk about is called composition. It is also known as rule of thirds. It may seem complicated to some children, and it is all right if you don't understand it at first. It has to do with where we keep our subject in our frame. When I say frame, when we click a picture of anything, what we see on the screen is a frame. Before we click the picture, what we see on the screen is a frame. If you divide the screen into, you put 2 vertical lines and 2 horizontal lines, you get these 9 rectangles.
You meant sleeping and standing lines, right?
Yeah, 2 sleeping lines and 2 standing lines, dividing the screen into 9 different parts. Right? So I'll show you one more picture so that it is clear. I have a picture to show you. Are you able to see this picture?
Yes.
So you see there are 9 rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there are 4 red dots. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the object that you are clicking should be closer to these red dots so that your frame looks interesting. I will demonstrate the same to you with my camera. But before that, I would also like to tell you that in some phones or in most phones, if you go to the settings and you turn on a feature which is called grid, it will show you these lines before you click pictures. So it is easier for you. And even if you can't see the grid, you just imagine that there are 4 dots at these points in the frame. And if you keep the subject near these dots, the picture will look very interesting. I understand this is a complicated concept. So if you don't understand, don't worry about it. You can read it about later. I will send this image that you see on your screen on the group. Yes. So I'll first show you how you turn on the grid on your phone and then how you use that grid. So let's move to the demonstration table and then show you the concept in action. Okay. Is everyone ready? Give me a thumbs up.
Okay, but thumbs up.
Yes, very good. So I'll first show you how to turn on the setting. So whichever phone you use, just go to settings. In my phone, it may be different from how it looks in your phone. So I go to settings here, and in settings, I have a feature which is called grid, G-R-I-D. As you can see here, I'll just click on grid and I'll click on 3 by 3. This now, when I come back, do you see these lines? These lines on my screen? And there are 9 rectangles.
Yes.
Let me show it on a darker object. Maybe I put my finger. Can you see this grid now?
Yes, yes.
And there are 4 dots here, 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 here. So the dots are not shown on the screen, but these are intersection lines where the lines cross each other. The sleeping line and standing lines where they cross each other. These are called intersection points. Now imagine I'm clicking this toy, and if I keep it on one of these dots, so this is assuming that this point is a dot. I click it like this. And if I don't keep it on a dot and I just go ahead and click it like this, now I'll show you both the pictures. This I clicked without following that dot rule, and this I clicked with the dot rule. Are you able to see the image on my screen? Is it clear? So this is called composition. An image from this much close up may not look so interesting like this one. So this makes your images look more interesting. I'll show you some pictures that I clicked yesterday. Like this is the image of a toy, and the face of this cat is near the top left red triangle. I know it is a bit difficult, and I know that some of you would not be able to get it in first go, but if you practice it with the grid, you will get it. It's not very difficult. You can definitely practice it and get it. So I will not go more deep into this. This is very easy. Just go to settings and enable grid on the phone setting, and then try practicing it. You can choose any of the 4 red points and using this formula.
So
I can't go to the settings because there is nothing showing on my screen. I have a Google phone.
Okay.
You can actually go to the settings, the phone settings, and then you can go to camera, and then you can switch it.
Okay.
And if it is not showing up there on the screen where it is just showing the preview, you swipe up from the bottom, you will see some settings come up.
Okay.
Swipe up from the bottom or swipe up from the top. Swipe down from the top or swipe up from the bottom.
Okay.
basically,
Please repeat this concept once again for the 4 dots.
Yeah, I will show you this picture and then I'll
Yeah,
leave it
please.
again. Yeah. So imagine that this white canvas is your camera when you are looking through it. Imagine that you have broken it down into 9 rectangles, wherein there are 2 standing and 2 sleeping lines. Where these lines cross each other, there are red dots. So these are the 4 points where if you keep your subject can be a person that you are clicking, it can be a toy, it can be a fruit. If you keep them closer to these red dots, the composition of the image looks good. Let me show you some examples as well. So this is the example of the composition rule. If you see, the face of this child is closer to the top left rectangle. I'll show you one more example. Here,
पूरा दिन सोती रहती है.
this focus and blur image that I showed you before, the faces of the mother and child is near the top right red dot. Are you able to relate it?
Yes.
Yes.
क्योंकि ये सेंटर में नहीं है ना.
Yes.
सेंटर में नहीं है ना, ये
If
थोड़ा
it is
साइड
in the middle, it looks much less interesting. For example, this, let me show you one more example. There are 2 toys in this picture.
है ना. 2 है
And
ना.
the face of this red toy,
दिन सोती रहती, किसी को देखा.
Mute yourself, Medha.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
excuse me. Yeah. So this rule makes your pictures look interesting. It is not mandatory. You can click without following this rule as well. But if you follow this rule, your images will look more interesting. So even if you look at me in the frame where I am talking to you, I'll just stop the screen sharing so that you can look at my face. Are you able to see me? My face on your screen is on the top right dot.
Yes.
And Inaya's face is on the bottom left dot.
Yes.
If you see any news channel or a TV channel, and if you notice where the anchors sit when they talk, you will find them, they are sitting on the top left or top right. They're never sitting in the middle of the screen.
Right.
This is also usable in videos as well as photography. And the frame looks much more interesting if you are in the top right, top left, bottom right, or bottom left. If
So we don't have to be in the center.
You can be in center if the image composition looks better that way. But in general, it looks more interesting if there is something to complement the image. So for Instagram like platforms where the image is exactly a square, here you can be in center. If your image is a rectangle, then
Aditya, please mute.
Okay. And did you tell how to blur the image? Because I did not listen to that part. The 2 toys that you were showing, the one that was behind was a little blur.
I'll quickly tell you. So if you want to make one object in focus and other in blur, you have to tap on the object which you want to focus. But the other one will go blur only if it is at a distance from the camera. If they are both at the same distance, then it will not go blur.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah,
that works if the other object is at distance. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
And not all cameras will produce same results. Some cameras are better at producing this blur. So if you're not getting the excellent blur that you see on other camera, then that is probably because of the camera quality.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
What should I say? These rules apply when we are not using mobile camera, right? I mean, I am just asking because I am a novice at clicking photos.
Yes.
If use an ordinary, the way we use, we earlier used to click photos using proper cameras. Whatever you're telling is applicable for all cameras, right? This rule third
for
everything.
Go and drink some water. These rules are applicable for mobile cameras, DSLR, compact cameras, also video cameras. So these are basic photography rules which you can use with all sort of cameras.
So the basic concept is you need to make sure that our faces or whatever object is near these dots. Then it makes better pictures.
Yes, if you go to Deepa ma'am's YouTube channel and if you watch her last few videos, you will find that when she shoots her videos, she uses this concept of framing. She sits on the top right or top left.
And
when
Rohit sir had
shooting.
given me that advice because he's also a YouTube blogger. So he had told me how to use the light. And so now, even now, if you look at me, I'm sitting right, across the window. So the sunlight is on my face. So now you can see it clearly. Whereas if I turn, even if I go like this, now the window.
Deepa ma'am, your audio is gone.
Oh, okay. Hello. Can you?
Yeah, it's better now.
So now if you'll see, the window is behind me. See how much difference does it make? These are like some, and look now.
This is the first principle of light and shadow, which I told you about.
Yes, sir had told, yes.
Okay, so this rule of thirds or the grid rule is maybe a bit complicated for some kids, but if you turn on the grid on their cameras, they can probably learn it gradually, and it takes some practice, and after they do some practice, it comes naturally to them.
Right.
So you should not expect them right away to be very good with it, because they take their own time to get good at it.
And also, Rohit sir, one more question. The 1/3 rule of 1/3. So should the object be on the third part of the screen? Should it be like the whole screen? Should it be lower half? Like I know you told about the dots, but generally try and keep it in 1/3, right? Is
near any of the dots.
near any of them.
So it also depends on how the background is.
Right.
So in certain situations, it will fit better on the lower dots. In certain situations where the background is like, say you are in a park, it's a beautiful sky up there. So if the person you are clicking is sitting on the grass, then it would be better if you keep them in the lower third, because all the interesting things are above them, like the sky, the beautiful sky and the clouds.
Okay.
But if somebody is standing near a beautiful painting, and the painting is at their shoulder level, then you can probably keep them on the top two dots, so that the painting is adjacent to them. Right, like the TV anchors do, they sit on the top two dots, like either on the left or on the right. Right.
Achha, one thing I just saw on my screen, there's a thing called ratio.
Yes.
Full image. So what is that? Because it is 4:3. Is it related to the grid?
No, it is not related to the grid. The newer cameras have a wider screen.
Okay.
So older cameras, older screens also used to be boxy.
Yeah.
Now these are wider. So these are aspect ratio of the image. So a 4:3 is more rectangle,
Okay.
and closer to a square format. And the older pictures that we used to have, they used to be more squarish. Now they are more elongated. Now they are more rectangulish. So this is the new. So the ratio has nothing to do. This rule applies in both sort of scenarios. If the screen is wider, the grids will move apart, because dividing the screen in 3 equal parts, horizontally as well as vertically.
Okay. And there's one more concept that I wanted to ask. Generally, when do you use a flash? Matlab, when there is less light that we know.
Only if it is needed.
Only if it is needed.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you use the flash when there is enough light, then it will deteriorate the image quality. It will make it worse.
Okay.
Because then there will be unnatural brightness in some parts of the image and unnatural shadows.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we move to the next topic? The next trick?
Yes, please.
So next trick is very interesting. I'm sure you must have observed it, but might not have given due attention to it. So I'll just quickly show you that. And this is a very, I would say, understated sort of thing. It's called camera angle. So if you change the way you hold your camera relative to your subject. The way the subject looks is extremely different. The image looks is extremely different. So I have some pictures that you can see on your screen. There are 4 pictures. So let's start with the leftmost picture of a baby who is sleeping in a cradle. This picture has been taken from top. So the camera is being held on top of the baby while the cradle is lying on the ground. If I click the picture from the side, it will look exactly, almost entirely different. Now look at the other pictures, the one in the middle on the top where 2 kids are running and there are school buses in the background. It is almost at a horizontal level. Now look at a picture just below it where a child is standing on a slide. Now the child is on top and the camera is at bottom. And similarly, if you look at the picture on the right hand side, in which a girl is walking and she's wearing this purple t-shirt, it is almost from the front. Now I will demonstrate the same to you using my table. I'll show you the picture of 1 or 2 objects taken from different angles, and they would look entirely different from each other, besides the object and lighting being exactly the same. So let's move to the table. I'll stop sharing the screen right now and let's do some demo and show you what difference does the camera angle make. Deepa ma'am, please switch to the table. Okay, Inaya, bring me an object.
Any object.
Yeah, any object. That frozen diary, yeah, it looks beautiful. Bring it.
That's why
Yeah, so I have a sort of a diary here. I'll just place it here. I'll put my light here. And now,
it's a diary.
okay, okay. Can I just close it, please?
Alright, I'm gonna lock it.
We'll put the lock later.
Alright.
Okay. So if everyone is able to see it, please give me a thumbs up so that I know.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So I have my camera here. I'll move it a bit behind so that you can see how I'm composing this shot. So right away, the first shot that I'm taking is at a horizontal level. So it's in the same level where my object is. So this is my first click. This is my second click, which is from a lower angle. This is my third click, which is from a top angle. So let me show you. And let me show you from a side angle as well. Now let me show you the results. So here we are with the results. Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yes.
So it is the same object, same lighting. I did not move the light. You can see it looks a certain way here, a certain way here, a certain way here, and a certain way here. Can you see how different the results come out when I change the angles?
Right.
Right. So this is an indoor scenario. I can show you some of the examples of the images that I have clicked where I have experimented with the angles.
Right.
So let me quickly show you. So I have some images here. I click a lot of pictures, by the way.
See all the gallery now.
So yeah, I'll show you this picture. So in this, you can see the flowers in the front. They are in blur. And the faces in the back are in focus. So this is the focus and blur principle that we learned.
Yes.
Are you able to relate?
Yes.
This flower looks very hazy and blur, whereas these faces look in focus. And this is a front angle. Now I'll show you a different angle.
Papa, you know a lot about photos and I'm even
Yeah.
about this.
So this is another image where I have used lower angles. So my camera is like this, and the subject is up there on the tree. So this is my other daughter Shania. She's also on the class. This is Inaya there, and I'm holding the camera down below. If I take the same shot on this, holding camera this way or this way, it will come out very different. So you have to see the light and the composition. So here Shania's face is on the top left red dot, if you notice in the composition, right? And you see how the image looks. It looks quite interesting because the rules of composition are being followed here. I can show you a few shots here. So this is a tea mug. It is sort of in the center of the image, not following the rule of thirds. But if you see the focus and blur rule, the steam coming out from the mug is in focus, whereas the door on the back is blur. So this is focus and blur. So composition rules also. So in this photo, you can see in terms of composition, this is on the lower left dot, the teacup. Everything else is outside. So let me move back to the presentation.
Don't take the energy of this.
Share screen. Desktop to share. So yeah, as I was saying, camera angles can make your picture look very interesting, and you can decide the camera angles based on how a subject looks with different camera angle. For example, this shot, which I have included in this presentation as well, this looks really beautiful because it has been shot at a certain camera angle where the kid is at a height and the person who is clicking the picture is below this kid. This may not look so interesting if it is shot from a distance and at the same height, right? So this is more of a hit and trial. You can experiment by clicking some pictures in different angles and see how different the objects look. Just like I showed you with that diary, it looks very different when you click it from different angles.
This is so muddy.
So let's move to the other one. This is also a very basic thing in photography. When we click picture of an object or a person standing very close to them, it's called close up. And when we are far from them, it's called wide. It's not called far, it is called wide because the image becomes very wide. So this is a toy which I have clicked myself. So if you see the image on the left, it is using the rule of third. The face of this toy in the left image is on the top left red dot. And there's a lot of other background, which is the bed in the background and some pillows, which is probably not making it look so interesting. But when we go closer to the face of the cat, the image looks much more interesting and intense, the image on the right. So there would be certain situations where a wide image would look beautiful. For example, if you go to a monument, say you go to Taj Mahal, and you are standing near Taj Mahal, then a wide shot would look more beautiful because there would be a beautiful monument in your background. But if you're clicking something in your room, then a close-up may look more interesting. So there is no better or worse when you are clicking wide or close-up. But when you are in a situation or in a frame or a place where there is not much interesting things visually around you, then you can go close up and click a picture where there is not much background, but only the face of the person or the toy that you are clicking or the object or the subject that you are clicking. But if you are at a place which is very beautiful, say in a park near a sunset, and you are clicking and there's beautiful sky behind you, then take a wide shot and also include some of the background so that the overall picture comes out to be more interesting. Now, please sit down. Please sit down. Okay. This is not a very complicated thing. Close up and wide, you can experiment with it. I have an example right here on the screen, which you can see. So you can experiment with this yourself when you go out to play. Try taking some wide shots and some close-up shots. And when you are indoors, then also try taking wide and close-up shots and see if you enjoy them. So I'll quickly move to the next one. I'll not spend much time on this close-up and wide. Now, these are some of the basic things that we keep in mind while we click people, pets, and objects. When we click people, we should tap on their face when we click picture so that they are in focus. And we should try to be not very far from them. If you have seen pictures of your parents or if you have seen pictures of your family members, the pictures in which they are standing closer to the camera, they look more beautiful because their faces.
The camera is different. Yeah, small, medium.
Yes, the face looks very small if you go very far from them. So when you're clicking their picture, stand close to them so that their faces are visible. So when you see the picture later, you can see them very clearly. When you are clicking, say, objects like your toys or fruits, then you can go really close to them. When you go really close to them, there's a certain distance where they will take a large part of your screen and they will look really beautiful, like the strawberry in the middle. So you can go very close to the subject. So you can take the picture of an orange or an apple or your favorite fruit or your favorite toy, going very close to them, and you hold the camera very steady and then you click the picture. And the image of the pet that you see on the right, the same rule applies, which applies to clicking people. You just keep them close to the camera, and for the pets, you can keep them entirely in frame. Like all of the dog is in this picture. Rather than keeping only the face of the dog, you can keep all of the dog. So because the pets are generally smaller than people, so you can keep all of them in the picture. Let me show you the next slide here. This slide tells you that when you hold your camera, you should hold it with two hands and you should hold it very steady before you click the picture when you touch the click button. So I'll just stop sharing my screen and Deepa ma'am, can you put me in focus spotlight?
Yes.
My screen. I want to show something.
Your screen or your table?
My face.
Hang on, just a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can everyone see me? Yes. Yeah. So certain phones will have camera on this corner. Certain phones will have them in the middle. Certain phones will have on the other corner. So when you hold the camera, try to hold it with two hands. The one side which does not have any camera, you hold it like this. So you have a good grip. And the other side, you hold it like this, so that your fingers are not blocking the camera. If your fingers block the camera, the picture will not come out good. Your finger would be visible. So you hold it like this from the other end and hold it like this. Your hands may be smaller than mine, so you may hold it like this as well, like this, or like this, wherever you feel comfortable. When you hold it like this, one thumb here and last finger here, taking a good support, and you can use the thumb here to click the picture on the screen, to touch the click button. And when you hold it with two hands and you try to keep your hands steady, the pictures come out blur free. Because when we click some picture and the faces are blur and hazy, it is because we are not holding the camera tight enough. If we hold it like this and shaking, like when I'm clicking the picture, I'm holding it with one and I click like this and the camera moves when I'm clicking, the picture will come out blur. The pictures come out blur because the camera is not steady enough. It is in motion or shaking. So whenever you click picture, hold it tight, keep it as steady as possible, especially when you click. Don't move the camera when you touch the click button. That will make huge improvement to the picture quality without following any other rule. If you hold the camera steady enough, you will get great pictures. Is this easy enough? Give me a thumbs up if you find it easy.
It was very informative, especially the coding part. I think we
Yeah.
all make that mistake.
And make sure you don't put your finger near the lens. Don't hold it like this. Okay. And next thing that I'm going to talk about, let me take you back to the screen.
No, sir.
Anyone has any questions before we go to the screen?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's go.
I will click picture.
Okay, very good.
Yes, good, Kushi. We are all going to send our pictures later in the group.
Yes. You can all practice this. I will share this slide with Deepa ma'am. And Deepa ma'am can send you these slides that I'm showing you here on my screen. And you can practice it later and send pictures on group later after the class. Okay, so next we move to something that we do on a regular basis and is very important to us, especially when we are learning our classes online. And it is about clicking the pictures of documents or notes.
Yes, sir.
How many of you have to click pictures of your worksheets every day? Give me a thumbs up. All of us do. And many a times the pictures of the documents that we click, they don't come out very nice. Sometimes they are slant, they are not very clean. Sometimes they are out of focus. Sometimes there are shadows on top of it and we are not able to see what is written. So now I will give you some very simple, very easy tricks to follow when clicking pictures of your homework or your worksheets. Do you want to see that? Give me a thumbs up. Who wants to see it? Okay, so I'll demonstrate this to you by clicking the picture of a page here. I have a page. I want to click a picture of this.
Yes, sir.
So you can practice this later. I'll just quickly show you how to do this properly. Deepa ma'am, I'm stopping my screen sharing. Yeah. Please put the table in focus now. We don't need the lamp. Keep it off. So for this demonstration, I'm not using my lamp because we all click notes when we don't have maybe lamps around. And I'll show you some of the scenarios how we click these pictures. So I have this notepad lying on the bed. I'm trying to click a picture. Now notice that this notepad is lying here and my tube light is over there, up there. And the light is falling from that tube light on this page. Now I'll use my camera to click a picture. How I should click it? I should use top angle. Do you understand top angle? This is front, this is top. So I'm using top angle, going close to the page, and then I try to keep it at the level of the paper, closer to the paper, and then I click. Note that I'm holding the phone almost on my palm like this with very steady hand so that it does not move when I click.
अब देख लो एक बार.
Now let me show you the result. This is how it comes out. Does it look clear?
Yes, very clear.
Now let me show you the mistakes that we do. The mistakes that we do is when we click the picture, we are standing at the place where our camera is between the tube light and the notepad. For example, I'm standing here and my camera is between the notepad and the page. When I do it like this, the shadow of my phone will fall on half of the paper. Now what happens is that the top half of the paper is well lit, whereas the bottom half is dark.
Right.
Compare it with this picture.
Right.
Right? So make sure that your light and your camera are not in the same direction. You should not be blocking the light. And if you find it difficult, then just open the curtains, let a lot of light fall in from the window, bring it closer to a window, and then click it. Now this is what I click closer to a window and how it looks.
Right.
And this is the one where the tube light is being, the phone is in the way of tube light. This is with the window. This is without the window, but the light is falling on the paper. And very important trick, sorry, excuse me. Whenever you click, make sure you touch on the screen once so that it focuses and then click. If you do it that way, the picture will be very clear. If you by mistake click on the background and then click, then the page will be blurred and the background will be in focus. See, the page is now blurred, which is also a problem which happens with most of us. So these are some of the tricks. You have to keep your documents in light.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So now they
You have to make sure that there are no shadows falling on the paper that you are clicking.
Right.
So that ways you can have very clear pictures of the documents or the homework.
Editing?
Deepa ma'am, can you put my camera view back in spotlight?
Yes.
Not the table.
Yeah. Just
Editing?
Sit. Editing, I'll show you.
wait. Yeah. I'm putting it now.
Yeah.
Just a second. Okay, done.
Was everyone able to follow the tricks that I told you about the documents?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are they useful? If they are, give me a thumbs up. Very good. So now I'm going to tell you the biggest secret to taking good pictures.
I want one.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. Please ask.
How to take the pictures of a paintings with the glass framing?
Yeah. So yeah, there are reflections. There are reflections.
Yeah.
And it can be difficult to take clear pictures because the reflections come. Sometimes the tube light reflection is there. Sometimes the other reflections are there. So what I would suggest you is, if the painting is small enough, which you can pick up yourself, then hold the painting in one hand, phone in the other hand, and you try to move. Let me just show you an example. Ma'am, are you able to see me now?
Yes.
So I'll just demonstrate the same to you. I have this thing which is shiny and it has reflection. Now I want to click it. What I'll do it is I'll hold it in one hand. I'll hold the camera in other hand. I'll open the camera and now I will just move.
You can take my camera and take pictures.
Yeah,
Full plant ka picture look. It's a beautiful lenses. Bata.
when I
Money
move,
plant. Take the pic of that money plant. Angle.
Deepa ma'am, can you put this?
Yeah. I'm asking.
Them
Anu, telephone mute. Hang on. I'll have to check.
Okay.
Mm.
Why don't we mute all? And
We
then
have done.
unmute?
They unmute. They keep unmuting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you can do is you can hold the picture in one hand, camera in other hand, and then you rotate it like this. And at whatever angle there are least reflections, you click it then. Because when you move it, the light source will also change. If the tube light is there, and if I move it here, at a certain angle, there will be reflection. But at certain other angle, there will be less reflection. Like at this angle, there is less reflection, but at this angle, there is high reflection. Do you notice? So right now it is in high reflection, but if I move it like this, it is low reflection. So you move the painting to a low reflection zone and then click it.
And for the wall hangings, which are bigger in size, I'll
Then
take.
you can just move the camera relative to the painting. Like you just move to the left of it, right of it, and slightly above, slightly below. You have to just avoid reflections. And if there are multiple lights in the room, say if you have more than one light, try switching off one light and turning on the other one and see the reflection is still there.
Okay.
So if you can change the lights, then change the lights. If you can move the object, move the object. If you can't do anything, then move the camera.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you.
One answer, I think, for this, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, who wants to know the secret to clicking the best pictures? Raise your hands. No thumbs up, raise your hands. Okay. I'm going to give away the secret to clicking best pictures. Just wait for it. I'm sharing my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This is the secret. We should do it for fun. We should not do it for anyone. We should just do it for ourselves. We should have fun while clicking pictures. If you enjoy clicking pictures, you will click the best of the pictures.
Okay. That's a good tip.
So enjoy while you click those pictures and send some of these pictures to Deepa ma'am after the class. And just have fun.
Good. So can you like stop sharing the screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes. That's
Yeah, so that's all I have from my end. If there are some questions we can take right now.
Does anyone have any questions?
Can I like it?
We also liked it. Any questions,
I
guys?
need to draw. I can draw a beautiful picture first. Taking my picture from phone.
And then you all can take pictures. So how about we all can take an object? Everyone, we all can take one object. It could be a doll, it could be a fruit, it could be a toy or anything. And let's try and take pictures in every way that sir had told us. Different lights, different shadows, all different angles, taking it from top, from bottom, from the sides, blur and focus, and the dots, near the dots, the compositions. Am I missing, sir? Wide and close-ups.
Yeah.
So all of this, take one object only and do all of it, all the tricks with that one object. So you would know what's the difference then, how it looks different.
So we have to do it with the lamp. I don't have a lamp right now, so.
You don't need a lamp.
Okay.
You can do it with the window, Sumitra.
Okay.
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 To the window, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
also, I'm just saying, different times of the day. So early morning, it's a different kind of picture that you would be able to take. If it's like sun is right on your head, then the picture at the same place would look very different. Usually, correct me, sir, if I'm wrong, the pictures come really nice between say 11 and 12 or something like that. It's a good 10 to 11:30 time.
So when the sunlight is really bright,
Yes.
the pictures become a bit washed out. So before 10 a.m. and between say 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., the light is soft and nice if you're clicking outdoors.
Yes. Right. So take care of all the timings and all, and where exactly are you sitting by the window? All of that. Right. Okay. Satvik is asking, sir, any tips for selfies?
Just try different lights and angles, and also try experimenting with the composition rule of thirds.
Okay.
The red dots that I mentioned.
Yes.
You may find some good results.
Okay. So how about everyone send us the pictures in different format and write your names in the picture with the text thing so that we know. And maybe if possible, we can make a collage out of it and send it back to you guys. How does that sound to everyone? How's the idea? Do you like it? Okay, then. So you have your project for today, and for the rest of the week, you could take pictures, send it in the group, and I will send it to sir also. All right.
All right. Have a fun Sunday. Enjoy clicking.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can we all unmute ourselves and say thank you to sir?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. It was very useful.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.